Hi everyone, welcome back to Nightscaper. So this is a really exciting video because Spirit Halloween has just released their animatronic lineup for the 2024 Halloween season. So let's go ahead and take a look.
My friends are going to show you a scary good time.
You caught my eye!
Step right up! Come on, come on! Welcome to the carnival!
Attention all kiddos! I found a lost parent!
With this ring?
I do. Strange that you and I have never spoken on the phone. This is long overdue.
So I am very pleasantly surprised with Spirit this year. Most of the animatronics on this list look really interesting, and I'm very excited to see all these in person. So we're going to start with all the licensed animatronics and begin with Ghostface. Before I saw this, when we just had the list of all the animatronic names on it, I was really hoping this was going to be more like the, I think it was 2012 or 2013. I was hoping it'd be more like that Ghostface instead of the Hauntress reskin. And it looks like that's kind of what we got. And for the video, it looks like his head is going to tilt from side to side, and his arms can be posable. And it even looks like that knife is going to make a stabbing motion. So that's going to be really interesting to see.
With this candle, I will light your way in darkness. With this ring, I ask you to be mine.
You kept your promise. You set me free. Now I can do the same for you.
So next is Emily and Victor from The Corpse Bride. So this is a really interesting set of animatronics. I actually kind of like it when they do sets of animatronics like this. Like here we have Emily and Victor, and then a couple years we had Jack and Sally from Nightmare Before Christmas. Anyway, there's actually a lot of movement going on with Emily, which is actually really interesting. So it looks like her neck is going to kind of tilt, and she's going to move side to side. And now let's look at Victor. This one is, I feel like they made his hands really big. I actually haven't seen Corpse Bride, so I don't know. He doesn't have as much movement as Emily, but they still look really cool. So it looks like his neck is also going to tilt from side to side. And it also looks like his eyes are going to blink. I don't know if Emily's does too. So now let's look at the next animatronic. So next is Art the Clown. So they actually released this one a couple weeks ago, but I didn't make a video on it. So this one also has a lot of movement going on. His head is gonna move kind of side to side, and his hand waves at you, and his torso moves side to side. So this is gonna be a really cool one. I think I will buy this one this year. I actually don't have that many licensed animatronics. They got the detail really good on this one. So I'm really excited to see this in person. So next is Michael Myers from Halloween. Now, actually, I'm not the biggest fan of Halloween, to be honest. So this one looks like he's going to have the same stabbing motion as the one from 2018. And I thought they were going to have one of the older masks on him, since the suit kind of looks like it's from one of the older movies, or one of the newer movies, I should say. But still, I'm probably not gonna get this one. Okay, so the next few animatronics are the main attractions, as Spirit is calling them. So we're gonna start with the Ringmaster. So this one, it looks like it's gonna have a projector inside of it, and the detail on this thing looks actually really good. A lot of the detail this year looks really good, but he still looks really realistic. And from the video, it looked like his mouth moved, and he kind of tilted up a little bit, I think. So I'm actually kind of excited to see this one. Okay, next is Nibbles the Clown. So I wasn't too excited for this one at first because there's just so many clowns. And sure, I get it's a carnival theme this year. I really feel like we need a year where there's just less clowns and more like surreal stuff. Anyway, this one's gonna be really interesting because it looks like when you move, its head moves, so that it's like facing you. So that's gonna be something really interesting to see. It also looks like his hand moves up and down. And I also really like that they're bringing the gore back. I also kind of like it when animatronics have something else with them, like a balloon or a bag or a lollipop or something like that. So I'm pretty excited to see this. So next is Bobby String. So I thought this was gonna be like somebody was like forced to be like a puppet, and that's kind of what it is, but it has like more of the wooden doll kind of a look. It still looks really interesting, and I actually thought it might even be like some kind of little Daisy and the Maestro kind of a thing. But it still looks really interesting. So it looks like his limbs are gonna move like up and down, and his mouth is gonna move. He's not like the creepiest, but he's still pretty creepy. So I'm excited to see this. Okay, up next is Barnaby the Bear. I don't think a lot of people are going to be too crazy about this one, but I actually really like this. We're getting some really different animatronics this year. This one is like balancing on the ball, and it looks like not only is the ball going to rotate, but like his torso is going to tilt from side to side. The one thing I do have to say about this is that I really don't like that they decided to give eyebrows to it for some reason. 'Cause I don't think bears have eyebrows. So, anyway, this is probably the one I'm most excited to see this year.
Yum, yum, yum! Sometimes it's sweet, sometimes it's not. One thing I'll tell you though, it'll do more than rot your teeth out.
So up next is Cotton Candy Dan. Now this one, the detail is insane. Again, I really like that they've brought in the gore back. And I was pretty sure from the start that this was going to be a jump scare animatronic, but I wasn't expecting that he was going to be like stirring the thing of cotton candy and then lift the cotton candy up to reveal this creepy face underneath. So it's going to be kind of like the Goblin Thief from Home Depot. Also, this is kind of obvious, but something else I look for in animatronics is lots of movement, which this guy has a lot of movement. Because not only is he stirring that thing of cotton candy, but he also lifts it up, and his mouth also moves too. Mouth movement is also something I look for. But anyway, let's look at the next animatronic. So next is the gravestone. At first I thought this was going to be a jump scare, like he would be hiding behind the tombstone and then pop out and scare people. But no, it looks like he's just going to sit behind the tombstone and rock back and forth. The detail on this looks really good, actually. This tombstone does look kind of cheap, but the ghoul itself looks pretty good. The head kind of looks like Barry's head with longer hair and green lights. But the hands look very realistic, and I'm not like I'm not like the biggest fan of the shorter ones. I like the really big, like 5, 6, 7 foot ones. But still, this is a pretty good animatronic, and I'm really excited to see this one. Okay, so next is the Night Terror. Now, I'm actually really disappointed in this one. When they first released the list, I was hoping this would be like some crazy, surreal $300 kind of thing. Kind of like Deathstalker almost. Like, I was hoping for something like some really crazy, scary monster. But like this, no. It's only $100, which is nice, but all it does is just lunge its head forward and sit there and laugh. So I don't really like this. It does have a really cool name though. And it does look like they reused Little Jack Carver's pumpkin head. But still, this is probably my least favorite animatronic of the list. Okay, up next is Wanda Webworth. Now, I'm really excited for this one. It doesn't look like it has that much movement, just the mouth opens and closes, but it's still a really cool looking animatronic. At first, I thought this was going to be something kind of like Cocoon Corpse, where like the spiders were eating somebody, but no, it's just like this crazy spider. And I feel like they kind of reused Desmodus's backstory, where this line here it says, "As her hunger grew, so did her size." It's kind of stole that from Desmodus, but whatever. It's still a really cool looking animatronic, and I'm really looking forward to seeing this.
Cross the threshold where the dead walk free. Enter, and in the darkness you will find me.
So next is the Cremator. So this one's pretty cool with like the orange lights inside of him, and I kind of like that he's like this phantom carrying the skull around with him. I think his voice is a little monotonous though, and I don't. I'm not a very big fan of the static animatronics or ones with little movement. But still, this is gonna be an interesting one. But I'm still probably not gonna buy it. So next is Maxstrom. And I kind of have mixed feelings about this one. The thing where he's just holding on to the pitchfork and he's floating, that's actually kind of a really cool thing. We don't really have that many floating animatronics. And I think the side to side head movement is pretty cool. The face on this one is really weird. I don't really like that he's smiling, but at the same time, I really like the big, sharp teeth on one side. And his eyes are kind of weird. It's just a weird face, but still, this is a pretty interesting one. Okay, next is the Dark Princess. From the start, I was pretty sure this was going to be a jump scare animatronic, and this looks like it'll be kind of like Desmodus. Actually, I'm pretty sure this is going to be a reskin of Desmodus. And the face on this one is actually kind of disturbing. Actually, I think I said this in the last video too. I really like that Spirit is going this more demonic direction this year. It's really nice to see. But anyway, let's look at the next anime.
This is the point of no return. Your cries and screams are futile.
So next is the demonic gatekeeper. This one, even in the video, looks enormous. Like, I'm pretty sure they used the same hands as Thresher. And I also really like the rising animation. And I also think it's kind of cool how he almost looks like he's like on fire. Also, his phrases aren't that bad. And that's actually something else I look for in animatronics is amounts of phrases and the way phrases are. There's something more menacing, and if it has like more phrases, like 3 to 5 or even 6 is pretty good. But anyway, let's look at the. Okay, the final animatronic on this list is the giant death ray. At first, I wasn't that excited for this one, but this is a really interesting looking one. So it looks like the head turns from side to side, and the lights in him like kind of flow up and down him, which is pretty cool. And we don't really get that many alien animatronics, so that's nice to see. And I think that's all I have to say about him. So thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye!